Oh. I found this down the back of the wardrobe.
All right.
The Great Reset Checklist.
Okay.
Don't know how we got here. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, rebrand Winterflu with some extra bells and whistles.
Okay.
Check.
Check.
Quarantine entire populations to destroy work ethic and increase dependency on government handouts.
Check.
Create energy crisis to further increase dependency on government handouts.
Check.
Oh, 2023. Hang on. Ooh.
What?
Well, I don't know. It looks like some kind of toothy maggot crawling into somebody's ear. Does that what it looks like to you?
Dude, that's not an ear.
Ooh. I take back what I said about going home soon. Let's stay here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho!
It's Friday. We are a spitting distance from Christmas. Yeah, about a week away, aren't we?
About that.
You are. We're about as far away from it as we always are. Lost out here in the wilderness of extra-dimensional spaces. Are we in a liminal space?
I'm not sure.
I suppose that depends on if we have to go through the delirium to get anywhere else. We do tend to come here and stop.
Pretty much.
So it's not a liminal space. Okay, never mind. Cheers all the same.
Cheers.
Oh, yes. Sorry, buddy. Oh.
Hot, hot, hot.
Welcome back. You know who we are. You know what we do. And if you don't, then you're about to find out.
That's one way of putting it.
Yes. Okay, so we are about to launch into the second of our theoretical movies for the month, which will see the Cotton family from Hellraiser. So that's Larry, Julia, and Kirsty.
Kirsty, yes.
Living the high life in Kingston Falls, not Hill Valley.
Not
Hill Valley.
No way does it resemble Hill Valley.
When Kirsty gets an unexpected Christmas present.
Yes.
With a different type of... Sorry. I'm going to say a different type of box. Yes. It wasn't intentional. That was purely serendipitous smut.
Serendipitous Smut.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, folks.
Too much mulled wine. Okay, so before we start, a huge thank you, as always, to everybody who's been checking out the channel, to all of our new subscribers as well. You are more than welcome, and thank you very much for your support. If you are new here, then we do this... Oh, that's another point. I'll come to that in a second. We do this most of the year, as well as other associated bits and pieces. If you like what we do, throw a like down below, leave us a comment, and more importantly, if you can, chuck us a subscribe, because we'd like that.
Battle.
That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen this before, you've not been with us for very long, we do a run of 5 months of this, and then we need to actually sleep. So we take a month off. So January will be our next month off. We will be back with maybe movies in February 2023. In between then, there will be other stuff on the channel. There'll be movies actually. There'll be what I just unread. Trying to get some more night sites and stuff out there as well. So there will be stuff turning up. Quick shout out.
Yes.
Shout out for today for another friend whose channel I'm really loving at the moment. He's doing really great things. This is for Skull Feck.
Oh, what a great name.
Yeah. His Let's Play channel, and he tends to specialise in playing demos for upcoming horror games, indie horror games on the PC.
Oh, him. Yes, I remember now.
Yes. His channel's doing really well, and he's kind of like adding a few extra bits and pieces into there as he's developing. Genuinely brilliant for expressing his trepidation at the different games.
Good.
But anyway, do keep up the good work, buddy, and as always, thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Gremraiser.
Now this one, I feel, is going to be a lot more easygoing on our poor beleaguered brains.
I think so. It's a lot more light-hearted for a start. I mean, how do we feel? Because obviously we've got a very differently dysfunctional family here.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose the first thing to look at really is Julia.
Yes, I can see where you're going with that. It does sort of present problems.
Yes, she's not the kind of... Well, she's not Lynn. She's not the happy homemaker.
No, she's not.
It's a really weird one because it's presented like a bit like a... Sort of like a white picket fence kind of middle American town.
Yes.
But there's actually an undercurrent of depression going on there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The time's on hard times. Mrs. Deagle is screwing everybody for every penny she can get.
Yes.
You know.
I'd never noticed it before. Little elements of chaos, so like the cinema, you've got the sign on the cinema, and there's just one letter that's different style to the rest of the title.
Yeah. Even the policeman's trying to get free stuff.
Yes. You've got like the small boutiques and emporiums, and then slap bang in the middle of it, you've got Burger King.
I hadn't noticed that, but yes, of course.
So instead of cooking all of these lovely cookies and things like that, she's just buying all of this stuff in and just really just hanging around in the background, getting hammered on eggnog.
Let's sort of start this from the ground up. Let's not just look at Julia. Let's look at the whole thing. So I'm thinking they used to live in New York,
yes.
And like many people, they decided to get away. So I'm imagining this is Larry's dream house.
So it's a similar kind of thing. So they're doing this for Larry. Is Larry's idea,
and it's trying to go for the white picket fence, middle American ideal. Maybe these things are happening because, Julia's trying to fit in with the ideal.
Yes. So
whether she's any good at it or not is something we can talk about later.
I like that. I do like this. There you go.
Thank you.
No, I just like that idea is that he's tried so much to appease her in New York and can't. So this is like the last ditch attempt. We'll move out here. We'll have a happy family homestead.
Nice, safe, quiet.
Yes. So in this setup then, we're going to say that Kirsty's still living with them. I suppose we have to for it to work.
Yes. And it's suggested that that when they moved, that was Kirsty leaving the house for the first time in Hellraiser. Because his dad's like, you don't have to do this. You've made your point. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of the things that I think we need to be, although I don't think that we want to lose, because it is such a big part of this story. Larry isn't Rand. He's not an inventor.
No, he's not.
The first thing is that we're at the risk of losing all of these lovely, wonderful inventions.
Well, all right. So what if he's?
Well, I wrote down earlier, this is possibly where you're going with it as well. What if he's an executive that works for a company that makes all of this stuff? We could even call it the Peltzer Company if we want.
Oh. I was thinking like an investment banker, but yes.
Yeah, and maybe the company itself is set up a bit like Amway.
It's Confederated Products.
So it's a pyramid scheme, so he's expected to have the company's products in his home.
Oh, right. Hence cue hilarity.
Exactly.
Right. I see where you're going with that. Yes.
So
yes,
then we can then twist it from, Rand trying to come up with sales pitch for all of his stuff. It's kind of Larry going, how the hell am I going to market any of this shit?
Oh, right, okay.
This kind of thing, just so we can keep that element in there.
Keep the physical comedy in there more.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I agree entirely. I was thinking more for the reason that we need to find a way for him to be moving around. Because he needs to be out of town to go and find the Gremlin, and he needs to be out of town.
Yeah, out of town to find Gizmo's not a problem. He's on a business trip.
Yeah, that's like I said. I was thinking something like an investment, something where he'd have to occasionally go into the office to do some business that he can't do over the phone. And while he's visiting the city, he might
go for a wander and go, actually, yeah, that's a good time to get Christmas presents.
Yeah, is what I was thinking. But being the city, that's great because then we can use that scene to introduce that part of the story, so he explains it all later on.
Yeah,
as well as explaining why he's in the city, and then he goes back home to his new happy home.
That bit goes fine. We then get all the stuff with the town square, the Christmas trees, as you said, with the sheriff.
Yes, I just called it Meet the Town.
Yeah, car trouble.
Billy's late, Mrs. Deagle.
And obviously Mr. Dick Miller.
Dick Miller, Mr. Furterman.
As we kept Billy in the bank in Helen's, I had to put down, should we put Kirsty in a pet store? But it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. Well, actually, no, it could. I mean, Mrs. Deagle has a lot of cats.
Yes, she does. Yes. Sorry, when I was rewatching it, I'd only watched Act 1 for this, so I'd forgotten about that.
So many cats, at least 15. So she would be a regular in a pet store.
Yeah.
And in terms of the financial difficulties, being a clerk in a pet store can't
pay much more than being a clerk in a bank.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose the only thing we do lose is there wouldn't be the same reaction to Barney, but then again, because...
Well, no, she hates the dog. She hates dogs.
Yeah, no, but there wouldn't be the same fallout for having Barney in the pet store.
Oh.
Unless we make the pet store owner a bit anal and he doesn't want any pets in there that are not his own.
I suppose, yeah.
I don't know. That's just...
No, hang on a minute. You see, now we're starting to lose things like Judge Reinhold and stuff.
Exactly, and we'd also lose Phoebe Cates from that bit. That's what I suddenly thought, because I thought this would work really well, and I thought, oh no, shit.
No. I mean, you can build other relationships with these characters, but it's going to be a more good way of doing it.
Because there's so much exposition in that scene as well.
Yeah.
You know, it explains so much of what the town is like and all of that. I think we have to keep it in the bank.
Yeah, I agree. Shame. It would have been a nice turnaround and made things...
Yeah.
You know, pull things out of the other film and stuff like that. But no, I don't think it quite works for our purposes.
So again, we're going to run with this kind of are they, aren't they, with her and Phoebe Cates at this point.
Absolutely. And the gentle kind of social interactions that Phoebe Kate engages in are vague enough that it could be very...
Yeah, they could be just good friends. It could be best friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
She could just be a nice girl at work.
Yes. I did also think that with the stuff with Mrs. Deagle, I mean, we don't have to, but I mean, Kirsty's quite feisty, and an argument between women, she's going to feel a lot more empowered than, say, Billy does.
Oh, right, because of Mrs. Deagle. Yes, yeah, we need to have the Mrs. Deagle interaction, yeah. But
yes. But
give a bit of feist, a bit of pizzazz. Kirsty isn't rude and aggressive, but she's not afraid to say her piece.
Exactly.
You know, she'll have a fight if she thinks there's a fight brewing.
So, get back home. So, what do we think Julia's doing then when she gets home? Knocking herself out on eggnog?
Yeah. Lynn was cooking. She was just cooking dinner.
Yeah.
She was just chopping onions, wasn't she?
That's true. And watching...
Watching It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes. I think in this case, though, she would look at it and go, oh, I hate this film.
God, this film again.
Yeah.
Every year. I don't see Julia having the same Christmas spirit as
Lynn.
But I think she would try for her husband's sake, so she'll be putting on the performance, but when it's just them, she's going to be like... More
scotch, or whatever. Yeah. Do we think she's got another man? For some reason I want to say Judge Reinhold, but...
I don't know. We have to remember what kind of movie we're making here.
We could do it. He offers to give her a lift home, so when they get back to the house, we could even just throw in that they pull up outside the door, and there's just a knowing look between them. Oh, hi, Mrs. Cotton.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like it. Nice little touch. Okay, so...
a lot of the first act for this is going to be pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean, with different flavours. I'm imagining, again, Julia's not going to be all that happy to see the Mogwai.
Yeah, more animals in the house.
Another animal in the house to feed, great.
There'll be almost an element of spite in taking the picture because of the flash.
But she doesn't know. Because that's what prompts...
No, because, yes, of course, no, you're right, because it's not until after that he says, well, these are the rules. So, okay, let's turn it on its head then. So, that happens, explains the rules. Okay, no bright light. Okay, well, just one more. Or something like that.
Oh, right, something just a little... Yeah,
just a little bit vindictive. And then nobody says anything because there's that nice kind of family awkwardness.
Yes.
First night is going to be the same, then we pretty much think. Billy is a little bit careless because obviously Gizmo, he falls off the thing and bangs his head and things like that. Are we saying that Kirsty would do the same? Because he flashes the mirror, doesn't he?
He accidentally flashes it with the mirror and he falls into the
I suppose.
basket, the bin.
I mean, we can keep those because it's establishing that connection between them.
Yeah, a girl's going to have a mirror just as much as
absolutely.
So
absolutely.
things like that.
Do we think then we'd still get the same kind of friendship with her and Corey Feldman?
This is what I was just thinking about, staring at that particular bit on the page.
Because she's not going to be into comics and drawing and things like that.
Exactly. I mean, there's no reason they couldn't be friends, because Kirsty is a nice enough girl that she might just be friends with the kid.
She's used to babysit for him.
Of course she did.
We just have to find something for him to be doing in her room after he knocks some water over.
Instead of staring at the comic, he'd stare at the TV.
Yeah.
Because there was the TV on in the background.
And it'll just be a glass of water on her table as opposed to the glass with all his paintbrushes in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So those are easily switched around.
Mm-hmm. So far, so good. We have new ones.
So it's Barney next, isn't it?
It's Barney and the lights, yes.
Again, I still don't see how they did that. Even all five of them. How did they get out?
Yeah, I know.
And overpower a dog.
You're not supposed to ask questions like that.
I'm sorry. I didn't ask any questions. No questions were asked.
But I mean, so many of the things they get into, you're like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Just how did they do that, you know?
We get Mr. Hansen. There's no reason why that would be any different, I don't think.
I suppose not.
I mean, obviously, we'd still get the thing with Larry thinking, oh, wow, this could be a big money spinner for the company.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, he'd be ever so happy about that.
No more crazy inventions.
Yeah, this one works. Closing time with Mr. Futterman.
Yeah.
Billy and Kate.
Oh, yeah, or Kirsty and Kate taking a walk.
Oh, sorry, Kirsty and Kate, yeah.
Who do we think then asked? Do we want to keep it as Kirsty, or do we want to keep it, or do we want to... I suppose, yeah, Phoebe Cates is a bit more...
She's very prim and reserved. Yeah. So, yes, I think it should still be Kirsty.
Do we need to downplay it in considering when it was made, or are we happy to just have a go? We should go on a date.
I think we should have them go on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should. You know, if we're going to do this, we should commit to it.
We should commit to it, yeah. No, agreed. I mean, again, the only other note that I had for Act 1 was would Kirsty be more mindful of the rules? Or are we allowing for the conceit of the plot itself that she doesn't bother checking the clock?
Well, Billy checked the clock. They just chewed through the wires, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true.
So her being mindful of the rules is not a problem.
It doesn't make any difference. With Invasion of the Body Snatchers, isn't it?
You're next.
Yeah.
You're next. That's the original ending. And there we have it.
That's it. So, yeah, as you said, this one, to begin with, is nice and easy.
To begin with, it's nice and easy. It's so simple.
I think I said it may kind of distort a little bit as we go on.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But considering the amount of sheer work we had to do on Helen's, this is...
It's the luxury. It's a joy.
Isn't it just?
Fantastic. Okay, so what do we do now? Oh yeah, we sign off, don't we? Okay, so after the last couple of episodes, a bit of a breeze there.
Yep.
We're going to put our feet up. We're going to throw some pens in a bin, and we will be back, as always, next Wednesday. Until then, have a great weekend, have a brilliant start to next week, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
As always, guys, TTFN.
You're next!
Ba 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 ba.